Good evening from the newsroom. The news for this Monday, the 11th of March. The Ports Authority has launched its pre-qualification invitation for contractors who are capable and willing to build and design the port extension. This step is to judge on whether interested contractors are well able to deliver on the said project prior to being invited to bid for the project. The authority is seeking financing from 2 international banks, and there will also be an EU grant. The Ports Authority expects the new port amenities to be fully operational by 2027. The local telecommunications company Cable & Wireless has apologized to the public following recent interruptions in its services. The company says that the interruptions, which affected mainly its mobile data services and Facebook, are a result of ongoing system updates on its platforms MyCare, eService and cable kiosks. The company says that the improvements, which are nearing completion, will cost over 1 billion rupees. Cable & Wireless is also reassuring the public that the interruptions has nothing to do with the activities in the Red Sea.
In August last year, we communicated to Seychelles people that Cable & Wireless is committed to spend over 1 billion rupees to improve the services and to bring latest technology to Seychelles. And this upgrade was part of that commitment. So we are glad to share the news with you that the upgrade has been successfully completed. There are some teething issues that we are going through. If any individual have any specific complaints or any business having a specific complaint, please reach out to our account exec or call us on one-to-one, and we are here to help. But rest assured, the upgrade has been quite successful, and we are over the difficult part of it, and the system looks significantly stable at the minute. We understand the commitment of us providing the greatest connectivity and for us to keep people connected, but these upgrades were quite necessary to bring latest services to Seychelles to make system more reliable. And we do apologize for the service, the inconvenience that we have caused. The service interruptions got nothing to do with Houthis and the Red Sea cables, the issues that were happening in the Red Sea. The upgrades were purely our strategy that we want to execute to bring new services to Seychelles and make existing services reliable. The upgrade we have achieved the major milestone, but it is not 100% complete. In coming weeks and days, we will complete the upgrade, and then we can communicate to you on the way forward as we go along. That this, for example, right now, eShop is not available. eTop-up has been made available yesterday. Kiosks are not working, and these things will be available in coming days and weeks, and we will communicate to you as we go along. Well, MyCare is still not available today. It will be available soon, but it has enhanced features and services. So if you are registered to MyCare and if you have used the old one, when you start using the new one, you will see the upgrades that we are talking about.
3 civil society organizations have received funding through SECAT from the Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund. Representatives from the 3 organizations signed an agreement with SECAT this morning. Under the funding, SIF will be doing research into their project for the eradication of rats and cats on Aldabra. The Blue Economy Research Institute from the University of Seychelles will be building capacity in marine monitoring and ecosystem management, and the Indian Ocean Tortoise Alliance will be aiming to eradicate rats on Curious Island, which they expect will allow for the tortoise population on the island to increase.
The impact of removing rats from this island will be dramatic for the island. It will improve all of the species that live there. Their populations will grow. People will have a much better time visiting there as well because they'll see more and more animals. So that experience will be amazing. But it's a very ambitious project. It's very difficult. The tortoise population on Curious is growing. But it could be a lot higher. And one of the reasons we think that the population isn't growing is the rats. They predate on the hatchlings, on the baby tortoises, and they also eat the eggs. So this impact is devastating for the population. So by removing rats, we hope to see that the population of tortoises will increase, and this will have a great impact on the habitat.
The World Bank Country Director for Seychelles, Ida Riddihoff, paid a courtesy call on President Wavell Mokalawan at State House this morning. Also present were the Minister for Finance, National Planning and Trade, Nadi Hassan, and the Central Bank Governor, Carolina Bell. Ms. Riddihoff says she is here for three main objectives: the continuation in the preparation of the country partnership framework, a climate change development report they are working on, and to look at some factors affecting the youth in Seychelles.
This is something we discussed last time, where we discussed with government how we support government, what areas they would like the World Bank to look into. But then we also try to make sure that the discussion is broad enough to take care of those activities we don't know that they will need or that we will need to support in the future. So that's the first one. The second one is really to talk about this climate change development report that we are also starting to work on. As you know, Seychelles is really vulnerable to a lot of changes in climate, and we saw what happened last time in December. The question now being what can actually be done to reduce that vulnerability. And the third one is an area that's also very close to my heart as a parent. I look at the number of youth at risk in Seychelles, and it's clear that we need to do something, and we need to respond to some of the factors that we see are affecting them. If you look at the fact that only 8% of the children reach high school, go to secondary school, the young boys are missing in high school, the young girls really have challenges with teenage pregnancies and then become household leaders on their own, which actually traps them in very difficult situations. It's very clear that it's the moment now to try to see exactly how we safeguard the youth of Seychelles to be the productive members of society in the future. And I think we know that there are issues that we need to resolve in the education system, but there's also the whole environment, right? Is the child got the right conducive environment to be able to work at home, to be able to deliver on the activities that are critical? I don't have all of the answers right now, but I think what we are understanding more and more is actually the situation, and then we will work much closer with the government of Seychelles and other partners here in the country to understand better what it is that needs to be done.
The Commonwealth Students Association CSA and members of the University of Seychelles Students' Council paid a courtesy call on Vice President Ahmed Afif this afternoon. This meeting was about this year's theme, Year of Youth Engagement Tour, and how the Commonwealth Student Association can remain active in Seychelles. The British High Commissioner was present alongside Ambassador Beryl Samson, as well as members of CSA and the Student Council of the University of Seychelles. Their program for this visit will follow a meeting with the head of state, training for student leaders, workshop for educators, and school visits. Benjamin Fraser, the chairman of the Commonwealth Students Association, says that for so long this region has been inactive, and this visit is to renew the relationship between the association and the country.
The CSA is a global organization of national student representative bodies and student unions that advocate for student rights and education, access to quality education. So this is the Year of the Youth, as declared by heads of government in 2022. And we, as youth networks of the Commonwealth, as well as youth organizations across the Commonwealth, were invited to propose projects. The CSA agreed that we wanted to do more grassroots work. Because it's a global organization, primarily our engagement is online. And we don't get to engage with our members unless we attend a conference, which really is a limited opportunity for engagement. So we identified 13 countries. We identified Kenya, Namibia, South Africa, Mauritius, Seychelles from Africa, and there are countries in Asia and the Pacific as well. Last year, Seychelles was represented at the Commonwealth Youth and Students Africa Summit, and our country rep has been very active, but I believe that this is our flagship activity, and as such, this is the high point of our in-person engagement. But Seychelles was represented at our recent Congress, which was held virtually. We hope that when we have the in-person one, sometime this year or next year, Seychelles will be there, and that in our committees, we'll have more Seychelles representation.
And this was our news summary. Have a very pleasant evening.